All right, Thursday show. We have another man larger than me physically who also drives a Kia Carnival. I think this is your first time on the show, by the way.
First time, long time.
First time, long time. You don't feel good, apparently. So you tried to bail this morning. Accurate?
It's my flu game. This is my flu game. Absolutely.
So Jesse gets a 3-inch goiter cut out of his neck, and then I've got to talk you off a ledge to stay because you have a sore throat.
It was a sympathy pain, Mike. I knew Jesse was hurting, so I was hurting as well. As someone who shares the same car as well as the same color of
Dimensions
car.
in car, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. Thank you. Good. Well, yeah, we have Phoenix Joe, obviously the star from Cut the Nonsense on the show here. It's almost like a little takeover. You know what? This is fitting, though, because when I was gone last week, Jesse and Alex had a whole little non-sport nerd out, which I didn't care for. That was just a plug for Hobby Nonsense. So we're just going to make this whole show a plug for Cut the Nonsense.
Yeah, well, Mike,
Separate but equal.
I wanted to pay respect. I didn't take Jesse's headset. I didn't sit in his chair. I decided to sit here in Phoenix. So out of respect for Jesse, I just wanted to let that be known that I'm in my own place here. So unlike Alex, my rival.
It is funny. God. Hey, I do want to start with this. This is something we talked about on our show, and then me and Jesse talked about this because I do think this is a compelling topic, and I think me and you can argue about it, which makes me happy. Drake Maye and Bo Nix, I would argue, are two of the hottest rookie quarterback, or young quarterback, not rookies, second year, young guys in the game right now. My contention, though, as I said the other day on both shows, was they're playing great, and especially Drake Maye. Like, had he beaten Buffalo when we talked?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had just beat him the night before.
Sunday night, prime
time.
Yeah,
I couldn't remember if it was Monday night, and looked really, really. I thought he played excellent that game. That was the best game I've ever seen him play. And I didn't think the team played that well. Like, the defense played good early, then struggled, which you're supposed to, and the running back stunk. Stevenson just loves turning the ball over. I thought Maye kept them in the game. Bo Nix, though.
He came on to score 2 touchdowns, though, Mike. I mean, he came on to score 2 touchdowns. The defense...
It's fair.
You could say they stunk, but they went against
Defense was
odds in favor.
I thought the defense was good. Yeah, they had a rough second half, but they're supposed to. You held them to 20 points. I'm okay with that. Your boy Bo Nix, though, is also, like, Denver's 3-2 or 4-1?
They are 3-2.
So both 3-2. They just beat the Eagles, which, I mean, again, the Eagles' offense has not
previously undefeated Eagles.
Both
teams were undefeated.
Same with the Bills. Yep.
Yes.
And so my thing, though, is, and I wanted to add some actual data, so I actually spent some time this morning just looking because I thought, man, I want to get some specific examples, but I want to see the overall scope. So my contention has been Drake Maye and Bo Nix are playing better now than we've ever seen them play in the NFL. Agree?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, and with Drake especially, it's not even close. I think Bo had a much better year last year, so there's probably some points, but I don't think it contributed as much to... I think right now he's playing as good as he ever has. So here's a couple cards. So, like, the Prism base and all the base stuff is doing the exact same trend. Very, very similar. A Color Blast Bo Nix, PSA 10. So the big case hit out of Prism. By the way, no banter. You know what? Pause this right now. We are going to banter. You had your little tum-tum ache in your throat. Jesse has a golf ball in his lozenger. You're looking at a guy at LaGuardia for 10 hours yesterday with a 2-year-old.
Oh my gosh, here we go.
Theodore, you've heard him.
Yeah.
Rebecca has not heard this story yet, so Rebecca is flying out today or tomorrow. Doesn't matter. It's a mistake.
Well, let me preface it. This is also... So, Theo is your first and only child, right?
Okay.
So the drama of this story is going to be amped up naturally for a first-time parent. So, go ahead.
Well, we don't all have 9 children. Some of us have other, like, activities when we were in our marriage.
Some people traveled
Leave
with
her alone,
papooses and had their kids in papooses and not flying first class. So, go ahead.
Well, that's the other mistake we made. Didn't fly first class. You would be so angry with me, though. I was literally making phone calls to get a private jet home. Take a guess. Take a guess. By the way, LaGuardia is a 2-hour direct flight to Nashville. Take a swing at how much a private flight for the 3 of us was going to cost.
$16,000.
Pretty close. 15 grand.
Okay.
15. I was like, you know what? I am not that.
You are.
I thought about it. I'll tell you right now. I thought about when we were sitting. So here's what happens. We have a 4:00 flight. We board at 4. We take off at 4:30. That's the schedule. Out of New York. PM in the afternoon, right? Visiting with my sister and my brother-in-law. They live about an hour and a half away, and then we've been hearing these nightmares of TSA shutting down. There's nobody there. Look at the security lines. Phoenix was on the news, as was Nashville. Yeah. Like, these airports are getting crushed. So I thought, okay, LaGuardia is going to be smoked. So we leave early. So we left at like 12 o'clock. First of all, the hour and a half ride took us an hour, not an hour and a half. So right then I knew I was in trouble.
Fantastic.
The shuttle driver because you don't leave your car at the airport, like in LaGuardia, they shuttle you like 10 minutes away, and they all have their own shuttle buses. I think we rented from National, whatever the brand, doesn't matter. When I showed up, same shuttle bus drivers as when we had landed 5 days previous. I gave them a good tip because we had a ton of luggage. Came right over. Oh, I remember. Loaded us up. Let's just take you right away. We don't have to wait. Great. So that took no time. To check the bags, 5 minutes. To get through security, 10 minutes, if that. Pre-TSA, obviously. No terrorism here. Well, sometimes.
Which, by the way, Mike Gio, notorious good tipper, by the way. Just want to put
you
that
have to, because here's the thing, you run into these people again. You have to take care of people, take care of you. So, we get there. I am at the gate at 1:30. I'm like, all right, we got 2.5 hours to kill. Let's go eat, sit. There's a get a restaurant with a booth. The booth is right on the glass, so the kid is just face on the glass, just licking COVID and watching planes. He couldn't have been happier.
Yes.
We board at 4. We take off at 4:30. We sat and moved like incrementally for just about 2 hours, and then the pilot was like, okay, I just want to let everybody know, horrible news, we have timed out. Apparently a pilot can only be on call and like in the air so many hours in a day, and then they cannot. Yeah. He's like, literally, it's going to be halfway through the flight when our time will be up, so FAA won't allow it. We have to turn back around, which took about 45 minutes just to get back the half mile, deboard the plane, and then we'll let you know when we find a crew. So we waited for about 30 minutes, and they're like, all right, here's the deal. So we book other flights, of course. Then they let us know, hey, we're leaving all the luggage on this plane. The plane's not going to move, but we're going to bring in a new flight team, and it's going to be 11:25 departure. So it was not great.
And there's tons of places for kids to hang out and have fun and bounce houses within the airport, correct, Mike?
They actually had one little play area with like huge foam airplanes and crap. So he played there for about an hour. Then at the end of the night, I was like, you can just run up and down the aisles. Everybody there was doing it. Point being, I don't understand the government shutdown or anything about government, but it is a mess. So if you do not have to fly, do not fly. Rebecca, we will be praying for you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Private. Yeah.
You can shuttle. I'll tell you right now, if I was at Teterboro, New Jersey, easy flight. $9,000 from Teterboro.
Mike, professional transition. You know, like you were saying, who wasn't flying high was the Eagles' offense and defense as Denver shut them down.
That is a professional transition.
Yeah, on the wings of Bo Nix. I mean, guys, we continue to talk about this over and over again, and everyone wants to see these giant spikes of touchdowns and yardage and that kind of stuff, and it will come against certain teams. Sure. You have to put those teams away. But when you're playing on a big stage and you're playing against another undefeated team, and they're the defending world champions.
Yep.
And you're able to do that on the road? And you're a second-year quarterback?
They both won on the road too, by the way. Like, in Buffalo's not easy. In Philly's not an easy place to play. So here's the thing. So I looked at a bunch of his stuff, but I think the one that really epitomizes this example perfectly. Very beginning of the year, I believe it was February-ish. Bo Nix Color Blast, the first 5 sales. Take a guess what the average was on a Bo Nix Color Blast PSA 10. I don't know this market, so I wouldn't be close.
So this is February, you said?
I believe. Let me pull up the data.
So if we're going back to February, I bet the Color Blasts were anywhere from like, I'm going to say 1,800 to maybe high like 2,800. Like give me $1,000 swing there for a Color Blast.
Okay, so January to March, the low I see is 58. The
100?
high I see is 53 to 6,300.
So that makes sense too, Mike, because that was they did make the playoffs, and so he was kind of peaking there.
Sure.
So I get it. The other thing, dude, what continues?
Well, hang on. This is after the playoffs, though. Like January. So you're talking March 16th.
Oh, I thought you were saying January. I'm sorry.
There was one in January. January 24th was the high, but that makes sense. But after that, like February 20th, 5,300. So even after the playoffs, after they were eliminated, so mid fives, right? That card now, though, selling for $4,000 to $4,500. He's playing better. So that's my problem with these guys. What does he have to do? Although this is not as egregious, I actually think the answer is somewhere in the middle. I think your thought was, man, they can go up and you can make money still and they can catch the high. My thought was total opposite. They're never going to catch it. I actually don't. It's possible. You're talking a 30% drop, but if he keeps playing like this.
Well, this is the thing. Like, you have to be smart with what you're going to buy. Like, a Color Blast, sure. That's why when I had mentioned before, like, those explosives, I know they're not a kaboom, but it's still a case hit type.
Sure.
The other thing that you're chasing too is if you have an opportunity for a case hit, and I know we're going to hear it, the non-licensed stuff. I don't care. I don't care that they don't have the logos. If you buy it now and they stay on this trajectory, dude, the opportunity is there to make money. Like, you cannot be foolish and be so like, I don't like that they don't have this, and that. Like, that's fine. We've already been thrown a wrench with the whole thing, starting with C.J. Stroud and going forward. Like, when you don't have licensed rookie autographs, we're going to have to deal with it.
It's a problem, right?
That's it.
You bring up a great point, though, by the way. That's one thing we don't talk about a lot on here are the Topps case hits, which by and large have been underwhelming and sell very, very cheap. But, like, if you look at the Helix, the Radiating Rookies, the Let's Go, like, all these different ones, I am starting to – that was another point I had here. Like, that stuff compared to the baseball counterparts is nothing. And when's the last time you saw, like – I mean, not the Judge and Ohtani's. The next tier down of stars in baseball sell for a football superstar quarterback. These aren't superstars, but in the hobby they are. Like, people go nuts for Bo Nix. It is weird, and I understand the licensing, but the gap there is almost bigger. Where I'm like, man, I think you could probably buy some of this stuff. I don't think. And I
know, Mike, I know it's not football, but we've had in the shop here, which is fitting, like filming from the shop. I was doing eBay the past couple days and doing our shipping. The stuff that's not, like, that's kind of flying under the radar is Prism Baseball, super cheap hobby box that you can get into, by the way. The Cherry Blossoms. Those Cherry Blossom cards.
Pretty cool cards.
Dude, they're pretty sharp looking.
And they're cheap.
And they're dirt cheap.
Yep.
Like, dirt cheap. If you have an inkling on who could be who's a rookie now, could be a great guy in the future, if you feel Dylan Cruz, dude, I mean, we're talking like $70, $80 for these Cherry Blossoms that are numbered in the 20s. Like, I get it.
I feel the same way about 3 and 2, by the way. That was another Panini baseball product that came out that was awesome. Like, and for the price, I was like, now granted, there's a couple where the photos, I'm like, oh, okay, it's too airbrushed. But a lot of them, there's nothing. So, the other example I have with Drake Maye, this was a card that has sold a ton of times, the Futures Stars card. Just the Topps Chrome Future Stars autograph rookie. It's a refractor. It's not numbered. Back in February, again, when they were well out of the playoffs, but I believe is about when this came out, I think. $250 to $300, tons of sales. Take a guess what that card's selling for today.
I'm going to guess 100 and... Well, actually, no, I'm going to say $93.
So about $135 to $150, so not terribly far off. But that's another one. Is Drake Maye going to do enough where his prices double? But maybe, I don't know. You know what? I don't know.
We sell in the shop. We sell that insert card for $4 all day. All day. Can't keep it in stock.
The non-auto.
All of those. Yeah. Just a nice little silver refractor. Like, the stuff sells, and I'm personally trying to get a good deal on both of those guys' Topps Chrome refractor autos, just base refractor autos. I think in the future those are going to be something that people are really, really interested in. And the Topps the original Topps Chrome look on those cards, it's pretty iconic. Like, it looks nice. The color's nice, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I'm a buyer on the non-licensed stuff for those quarterbacks because that's what you have the option to buy. You have to. And if you're that gung-ho on getting licensed stuff, then go buy their Bowman first. Go do that. You'll have a licensed product then.
Yeah, that's fair. So here's the other thing I was thinking with that too. And I actually went a different way. So the Drake Maye stuff I've been collecting and bought, I bought a little bit higher because even a few months ago it was selling. A few months ago it's where it was. Like, the preseason hype is where it was. At the middle of last year, end of last year, it was higher than it is now, which is wild. But at the beginning of the year, the preseason hype, like, Drake Maye is going to be the guy. It's about back to that level now. And I went with Cosmic. I just like Cosmic. I thought those Milky Way autos look cool, so I have 3 or 4 of those color ones. But again, I look at him and I'm like, man, I was saying for a long time he's never going to touch his all-time high. Now, Jaden Daniels will not. Jaden Daniels' pricing is, which it should be. He accomplished way, way more than these two guys last year. If you're starting to, even now, if you're like reasonable and starting a team, I don't think many people are saying I would take anybody over Jaden of this young class. Jaden's been awesome. But I don't think he could ever touch his stuff. So you have to go one tier down from him at least, because I don't know, unless he wins 2
expectations were crazy high after that year. So
yeah. Now another guy I want to talk about, a couple guys quickly after that. Jared Goff, your boy, your Lions, pretty decent start to the year. 2016 PSA 10 Prism Silver. They were all silvers. Pop is 668. What do you think that card runs right now?
100. $65.
Pretty close. 200 to 225. Now, if you were to look back, that card in January of last year, multiple sales, hottest team in the league, arguably, making a Super Bowl run. Any idea what that was selling for then?
400.
Same exact prices today. There's a couple that are a tiny bit lower.
Wow.
Again, here's my thing with Goff then. We saw him make a run to the NFC Championship game and only go to that price, but now he's there 5 weeks into the season. I flipped I think I was wrong here too. I actually am looking at Goff like, you know what? Maybe he can do something weird. If they're 10-2, maybe his pricing gets even higher than that, which is I never thought I'd say because I didn't think.
Colin Cowherd just said, I think the other day, that he's a potential Hall of Famer if he stays on this trajectory. Like, made it to the Super Bowl.
I think he needs a win.
Yeah,
I think he needs one win.
For sure, but if you think about the coaching that he's had, the different staffs, offensive coordinators, and he still is performing at this level. And, I mean, head-to-head, that was, 2016, correct?
Yep.
Is that Jameis?
No, 2016 with Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz, excuse me. So, looking at that same, I mean, Carson has the Super Bowl. I get it. But,
oh, yeah.
But
he's
different
been
guys,
injured most
man.
of his career. Yeah.
Different guys.
Yeah, I mean, it is funny, too. Like, I think about a guy like Goff. If you say the name Jared Goff, Hall of Famer, immediately I think no. But it is true. If you look, like, let's say this guy has another 5 productive seasons like this, he's going to be pushing top 10 in a lot of statistical categories. And if he has a Super Bowl, he's almost like a Stafford at that point, right? Like, similar. I know he wasn't as prolific. Stafford had some crazy statistical numbers.
Yep. Stafford had great numbers, but listen, dude, we talked about this in the shop, and I said flat out, Jared Goff, this is his 5th year. He is a Lions legend. And people joke about it all the time, but whenever you go to any game, it doesn't matter if it's at home, if it's at away, you will always hear a giant chant, and you can hear it on TV. You can hear people chanting, Jared Goff, Jared Goff. The Lions, we've never had someone like that. Even back into the Barry days. Maybe Barry, but like...
Stop it. See,
dude,
it's
huge.
Problem.
It's huge.
This is the problem,
Jared
you
Goff.
idiot. It's not the whole... It's just you and your 12 kids chanting. It sounds like a village.
It's fair. I mean, we still have the echoes from yesterday's eruption. Riley Green, I noticed we didn't talk about that, but home run. Big home run.
Yeah, and they won the game.
If you're the Mariners and you've got an elimination game and you've got Tariq Skubal, Kingman, Arizona native, sitting on the mound, come on, baby. That's must-watch TV. That's Friday. And here's the other thing. This is why I hate East Coast stuff. I really hate these guys. So the Yankees, they couldn't do their part because nobody cares about the Tigers and the Mariners. They were going to slot that game, an elimination game, Mike, on a Friday at 1:40 Pacific time. So in the middle of the day, they can't get any of their fans there.
Prime viewing.
Yep. And guess what? All the Yankees had to do was just win last night.
I tell you what was nice last night. The 12-hour delay at the airport, I was standing at a bar with a bunch of people, and the last pitch, the old Bellinger strikeout, a bunch of us started clapping. The natives were not thrilled with that reaction.
No, they shouldn't be. You should have seen on MLB TV about David Ortiz. He was gassing up.
I love it. Yeah, Ortiz has... All right, 2 other quick things I want to mention, just get your thoughts on it. 2019, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is a rookie. He has a ton of PSA 10 cards, rookie cards that are like $40 and below. I'm talking like Topps Chrome, Heritage, Archives, some of them like $25 still. At some point, do we buy this guy?
I bought his Fanatics cards out of the Fanatical cards. Dude, I got those
out of Topps Chrome.
For $25.
That's stupid. Dude,
that's crazy.
He is not even like... I mean, so you got Judge and Ohtani on one level. The next level, you've got still like the Trouts. Mookie sells really high.
Yep.
Kurt's a rookie. Like, you've got that level of stars. The next level down is almost like the older established stars, like the Machado type guys. The Goldschmidt has a market like that.
Mike, it's just that he plays on an international team. It's that he plays.
It's got to be
because,
dude, he is.
It's 100%.
He's not even there, and the kid is having a great run. I do think he's weird. The other guy, Julio. I know you don't. I don't want to talk about the enemy. He's played pretty well against your dudes.
Sure has.
He still has a ton of 2022 rookie stuff. PSA 10s, way on $60 and less.
Well, that's because he was crazy back when he was cooking up cards.
Sure.
In Julio's kitchen. That expectation, that was just crazy high to live up to. When he was the box cover guy coming off of that rookie year, it's been tough for him to fight back. But now that he has protection in the lineup, like they were talking about that on the broadcast yesterday. Think about it. At the trade deadline, they infused almost 60 home runs into that lineup by getting Naylor and Suarez. How much happier are you on that lineup, and how much more do you feel protected if you're Raleigh and Julio?
Yeah, and Raleigh goes from 30 to 60, so that's again, you added a 30 home run guy. All right, two other quick questions, and I want to go to we're going to have the card vault by Tom Brady guys here. I know Tim's joining. I don't know who else is joining. We got some announcements. They have a huge event coming up. I just want your take. Two questions, literally just Talkin' Joe. See, it's a segment named Talkin' Joe, and there's a big Dunkin' Donuts cup of coffee. Mm-hmm. Some people refer to coffee as Joe. You've heard this?
I haven't, but I know it's Dunkin', not Dunkin' Donuts, but thank you.
Really? Like a cup of Joe?
I've heard cup. Yes, I've heard a cup of Joe. Yeah.
Sure. All right. What do you do with Aaron Judge cards right now? You wake up today, the team's been eliminated. Again, he comes up short in the playoffs. Not his fault, obviously, but he comes up short. What do you do?
Put him away.
Yeah.
Do not sell him. Absolutely not. Don't. That's foolish.
Yeah, I think there was which is weird. I didn't think we'd see an overreaction like that on social media today of guys like, well, time to dump this stuff before the offseason drought. I don't think people realize in the offseason, well, he may win an MVP. I don't think he's going to, but he still comes back the number 2 player in baseball next year. I was kind of shocked. I thought we were past that point. If Mahomes loses 3 games in a row and people sell, it's you're not going to see people just dump his stuff. It's stupid. I kind of thought
go look for Aaron Judge, Don Russ rookie cards, autos. That's where you go make your play in this offseason.
Really? A little unlicensed.
It's not going to matter. It's not. I'm telling you down the road, it's not going to matter because when you have a superstar like that, dude, it's going to supersede having the license will bring a premium, but the non-license will still have enormous value.
Okay, perfect. Actually, you did not know. You can confirm this. I didn't prep you for these questions.
No,
that's a weak affirmation.
No, he didn't tell me anything. He doesn't even talk to me. So
we talked an hour ago, and you're like, "Oh, my throat hurts. I can't
Stop
do it."
it.
I begged him to get on the pod for months. You finally get on here. Well, I don't know.
Begging?
My tum-tum. My
step
Kia
in.
Carnival broke down.
Step in.
Don't buy a Kia. Would you rather have a rookie auto, unlicensed, or their first licensed auto, i.e. 2023 Topps Chrome Wemby, rookie, or 2025 Topps Chrome Wemby, non-rookie, but licensed?
I'd rather have a rookie auto.
For the PC?
For
or
the
to
PC,
flip, or is it the same?
Just in general, I'd rather have
Same
a
answer.
rookie auto. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember a time when we've seen this. Have we ever actually had... I want to know what the first ones of these are going to sell for. What's the first Wemby? Because, his Topps Chrome stuff went through the roof, his rookie stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm very curious to see, the first month of those unlicensed sales and then the first month of these licensed sales. What do they do? Well, okay, so you want the rookie. What do you think the market, what do you think the market reflects on them?
I think Wemby will be a 4th or 5th guy that people are really going to start going after, even licensed stuff in Topps flagship basketball. I just think he's going to take a back seat. And I think some people just don't know what deep shoulder thrombosis is, and they're concerned to go buy that.
Sure.
But I think having the opportunity for Steph, LeBron, Cooper Flag, those type of things, I think those chases are stronger than going after a Wemby card right now, to be honest.
Well, I don't even mean that. Take Wemby out. I just mean somebody's... So Drake May, Bo Nix, 2024 Topps Chrome rookie autos, the ones you're collecting.
Yep.
Or 2026 Topps Chrome first licensed auto.
Rookie auto. I want a rookie auto.
Do you think the market will... let's say the Drake May and the Bo Nix came out at 300 raw to begin with. Do you think the first licensed stuff comes out the same or way lower? What? This is one of those I don't have an actual answer to, so I'm curious.
I think if you went back and you looked at the Curry when Prism initially came out, as opposed to... Because Curry was an upper deck guy originally with his rookies, right? But he had Topps
and the last of Topps, yeah.
Yeah.
But they were both licensed, so it's hard to say... Prism was licensed.
Well, wasn't the Topps one... Isn't it just in his... It's not really licensed.
It's licensed, so it's in the warm-up jersey. But it does have the team name. Yeah, so it's tough. Yeah, I just wonder.
I think that's the closest thing you could go back and look, though. I think that's really, I don't know, Mike. Again, at that point in 2026, there's going to be 5 other guys that we're going to be talking about that were these great guys, sure. And so I think at that point you'll still have an opportunity to go back and get cheap, unlicensed stuff at that point.
Yeah, I do. I really am starting to wonder. We get a lot of questions. What happens when we have licensed stuff? Like, do people totally pivot? Like, hey, I know it's not a rookie, but it's the guy's first. Almost, actually, you know what a decent example is the star card with Jordan. Like, that star card is not, like, technically a league license card. It is, but it was never considered, like, a license card like the other. Whereas Fleer comes out and it's the card.
Yep.
And most people gravitate to that. I do wonder. I really don't have a great answer. So those are my questions. My what's Joe? What was the name of the thing? Joe's thoughts. A cup of Joe.
I thought it was going to be a lot more intense than this, but
Penny for your thoughts.
Thank you.
Okay. We have some guests. We're going to talk some card vault stuff with the guys, and we'll be back. After that, we're going to do mailbag and wrap it up. All right, guys. So we got Matt from. I was going to say your last name. You just said it. Say it again.
Varao.
This is a train wreck. Jesse's not here. I'm at home. I have dogs barking, and we're butchering guest names. Matt Varao. So the breaking director.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Of Card Vault by Tom Brady. Yeah. Appreciate it, Matt. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. How are you guys doing?
Good. Good. So are you in Boston, by the way?
So I live in Providence. So I do that commute from Providence up to Boston quite a few times a week. Like our offices and the flagship TD Garden store, obviously right up there at the Garden. In there almost every day, either there or the Patriot, the Patriot Place location. But yeah, I live in Little Providence. Been here for about 10 years now.
Okay. Do you know Big Hat Tim from Providence? Tim claims to know everybody from Providence.
Big Hat Tim.
He doesn't know him.
I'm not familiar. No, I'm not familiar with his work.
Okay. Honestly, I don't know that he works, so that's a fair statement to say. I mean, I think we're safe. Hey, I do want to know, obviously the news last week was you guys are opening a ton of new shops. Mm-hmm. Just kind of give people an idea of what the scope is that's going on over at Card Vault now.
Yeah, for sure. So, obviously we have, massive amounts of growth and expansion, company-wide right now. We announced several new locations with a, pretty cool little video with Tom opening up, little location repacks, so we call them, kind of a little nod to the industry. But yeah, man, we just opened up the Soho location. Grand opening was on Wednesday. A little sneak peek on Tuesday. It was a lot of fun. Carl Anthony Towns came through. Really, really cool location right on Lafayette Street. Highly recommend anybody who's in, Soho, West Village area to check that out. Very walkable. Then we have Dallas this month. Mall of America right around the corner in Minnesota. Then obviously, the West Coast locations, we have our eye on in, Palo Alto and, Northern California. Vegas, another one that, that we have eye in that should be done in the next few months. So, just like tremendous amount of growth, obviously there's very ambitious projects, but we have, one of the best teams in place to execute all that stuff. So, we're excited. It's a lot of work, but, something that, we're really proud of in terms of, the mark that we're making in the industry on that front. And, the brakes business obviously gets to feed off that as well, which is awesome.
So is that the goal? Like, what is the end game here? Because I know you guys are opening a ton of shops after. Mm-hmm. What is it? The next few months you'll be up to 13 when this next string is open, right?
Yep. It'll be double digits. The end game is we've kind of said it before. There's 100 stores. Stores near every arena in America and hopefully globally out in Europe and across the globe at some point. So. We're trying to build a brand that can, be a harbor for collectors, new and old to come in, have a great, either introductory experience or seasoned experience for hobbyists, pretty much at any stage in their collecting career. So, that's what we're out there trying to push and achieve here as Card Vault as a brand.
Nice. And so you're doing the breaking side, the live selling side. What's that look like for you guys? I know you guys are on Fanatics Live. Are you anywhere else right now?
Yeah, so we're on pretty much every major platform. Okay. So we do Whatnot, Fanatics Live, eBay Live. We're launching this weekend, which we're super excited about. Have 4 live shows back to back. So we're on the major ones. In the early days, we were doing Instagram Live, YouTube, and stuff like that. Then obviously, as the industry sort of evolved, the live shopping platforms, Whatnot, Fanatics entering the space, that really changed the game on how we wanted and needed to operate as a business. Obviously, it made that barrier of entry for customers and people interested in the hobby to get into breaks a lot easier. It was also a lot less clunky than say going on Instagram and buying into breaks. I'm sure you've been around for a while. I remember the days of
check payments on
Facebook
payments
groups.
on PayPal and then tag guys who didn't pay.
Dude.
And Yeah,
Oh my
tracking down
God. So
addresses.
it's so funny. Like, it's interesting for, I know everybody's got something to say about like, oh, like Whatnot or Fanatics. Everyone's going to always have their gripes, right? About the
Sure.
different platforms. But man, let me tell you, like I've been breaking like independently prior to Card Vault for like many years. Outside of that, ran like a lot of those private Facebook groups, things like that.
Okay.
And in the early days, man, like I still get a little bit of PTSD thinking about it. Putting up like, at that time, like people were, throw up a case break of whatever, Prism football at like $200 a box because it was
Yeah.
2018 or whatever.
Yeah,
And
you
like
try to
it
break
wasn't
even on Prism football. Yeah, I
right,
remember.
dude.
Yeah.
And man, like I'd throw that up, and then you're just getting DMs like left and right. You're waiting for Venmos, you're waiting for PayPal's, you're chasing people for money. I had guys who like buddies of mine locally that I would like drive around and drop off the stuff that they hit in breaks and like collect cash and like said, please no IRS people come at me for that and catch a quick audit for saying that. But like the inception of like Whatnot and Fanatics Live, it simplified that so much.
Absolutely.
Like it really streamlined the ability for people who wanted to run an honest breaking program and really allow collectors, like really lower that barrier of entry to get into breaks and get into some quality offerings. It changed the entire industry tremendously. And like again, like I know a lot of people, breaker, we get like this bad rep, like all the breakers just pull all the big stuff, they get all their allocation, but it's like, dude, like it's a volume game, like a lot of volume.
It's the fastest growing aspect of the hobby, by the way. And by the way, so Joe
Yeah.
works at Phoenix Sports Cards. So Joe's a card shop guy as well. But
Oh,
even like with
excellent.
you,
Yeah,
Joe, like I got to think like you see that too. Like it over the last 5 years, breaking has been the biggest area of growth, I would say, in the hobby. Do you agree with that?
It absolutely is. I will tell you one of probably the biggest gripes that the card shops have with the breaking. Most of the shops have their own breaking to begin with. Let's be clear there. So and that's two separate allocations if they're lucky for the shop and for breaking. So shops do have that. The biggest argument that they have is when the price is driven up because of the popularity of the product, and that has nothing to do with anything than just the actual consumer itself, because when they're driving the excitement and they want these breakers then have to go out and get that product, which then they're paying a premium for it.
Sure.
So they're trying to offer it at a certain level. But here's the full circle pieces. When that customer essentially hits what they were looking for, and they come back to a shop to try to sell it, because that's going to be like their local easiest avenue if they have a shop. They're not getting that return on what they thought initially. So that's where their argument is.
So you get kicked on both sides. Dude, you don't get the huge upcharge. Because like with us as breakers, it's instantaneous. This product is hot. I'm just going to mark it up right now. In a shop, if you go from Tuesday to Wednesday, it goes up $100, people are going to look at you cross-eyed. But then when you get the hit that doesn't cover the box, I don't have to worry about it as a breaker because they're gone. And you're
right, but they're trying to sell that single, and then that's where the shops get the bad rap of, hey, they're only buying it 50, 60%. Like that's what happens, and that was going to be my question to you, Matt. So with opening just a multitude of stores and having the goal of 100 stores, is there uniformity as far as each location has like I know at the National, your display was gorgeous. You had all the Tom Brady stuff that you could go in there. Does each location, will they have like game use stuff that Tom has like put into the store? And then how do you guys keep up with that demand of the singles and being able to give that card shop feel where they can go through and filter through dollar boxes if need be?
Man, it's a great question, and I know when Smitty watches this, if he watches this, he's probably going to have like his heart's probably going to drop. So shout out Smitty, by the way, who is our purchasing director. He handles a lot of sourcing a lot of the singles for the stores, all the new locations.
Yeah.
Is Smitty the big guy? I never know who you guys are. Everybody has typical Northeast names like me. It's like six Matts, 7 Tims, a random Chris. Now there's a Smitty. Like there had to be a Smitty.
I know we are just cookie cutter Northeast.
Where's
like,
Murph? Is Murph here?
Boston guys, I know.
Yeah, what's Murph doing today? Like,
yeah, no, Smitty actually used to be one of the breakers, like one of the best breakers that we had. Kind of like his role changed around a little bit. He's great at in the purchasing role that we have him in.
He was the guy doing content with Chris for a bit there too, right?
He was a big part of our content. He's still in the vlog. Like you can still catch him on like all the vlog episodes and stuff like that. Still, obviously, integral part of the organization. But to your question, Joe, as far as like the sourcing side, it's a tall order, man. Like So basically, like each location, we obviously curate. Soho's going to have a lot of Yankees, Knicks, things like that. American Dream's got a lot of Jersey playing. Devils, Islander stuff over there. Boston obviously has all the Boston sports teams, so on and so forth. Dallas, we've ton of Mavs cards, things like that. So basically, like our buying team is working fighting tooth and nail, hitting shows all around the country, trying to buy as much volume as humanly possible. And it's very difficult, man. Like we, obviously internally, we have the communications go out about hey, we'll have our manager in Chicago be like, hey fellas, I got cleaned out of singles this weekend. We had a, Cubs homestand and guys came in and just wiped us out. And then we got to go and source. And the thing is, it's very easy to go to a card show and buy and go to a table and be like, hey, I'll buy your entire showcase for 70%, 80% or whatever. And some guys will take that cash out, right? But it's got to be the right mix that is appropriately curated for the locations. You know what I mean? We're not going to buy, a ton of Raiders, Cardinals, and, whatever, West Coast cards and then stick them in Boston. It doesn't kind of really fit the mold of, the experience that we're trying to give to the customers.
So Matt, real quick to that point then, do you have just a team that is buying no matter what, and then they decipher where it's going, or do you have individual buyers for shops?
That is Smitty's role. Smitty, we were just talking
Smitty's
about.
buying for everything.
Yeah,
and then which shop will use it the
He's
best?
overseeing the buying operations, and again, does a killer job. Shout out Smitty.
2 shout-outs now for Schmitty.
Yeah. I know, two shout-outs for him.
Right.
No, he does a killer job with that and that team, and kind of overseeing that operation. Shout out Trent too. Trent's the lead buyer. He's a killer as well. He's fantastic.
All right. Yeah. I have to also imagine too, now the card vault by Tom Brady, it's more of a destination too for people that are traveling into those areas. It's now popping up in their Google Maps and that kind of stuff. If they're not used to, Michael Rubin always talks about spreading from the sports fan to the collector. So that's the other thing you have to keep up with is the person who comes in that wasn't necessarily a card shop person, but then they see a cool card and they're just buying it right out of the case. And you have that, like you were saying, the homestand. And I can only imagine with the hype around Cooper Flag and the Dallas shop, what that'll look like. Because, the Dallas cards are great, but dude, you're going to have that entire different just sports market just booming. Because like I said, it's now not just a card shop, it's a destination for people to stop at if they're in that area.
Yeah, and that's one of the cool things about the hobby too, right? Is obviously for the longest time the hobby was and it still is in many ways a niche lane and a niche market, but the growth and sort of the interest level that we've seen over the past 5-10 years, I'll go back as far as 10 years because really it was kind of 27 when Mahomes entered, Josh Allen, Jackson, 2017, 2018 really started. You saw the rise in football. Obviously the Zion, John Morant hype in 1920 for basketball. That kind of little window really was the catalyst. And we won't dive down the whole pandemic and all that stuff really just poured gasoline on an already raging fire. But to your point, Joe, everything you just said, the beauty of the hobby right now is people are hip to what's happening. There's enough news cycles kind of covering what's happening in the space. And dude, if you're a dad, you're a whatever, late 30s, early 40s dad, you're going to a game at the Garden, you're taking your son, your 10-year-old, 12-year-old, what have you, and you just pop into the Garden and you just see genuinely cool cards. Cards objectively right now are way cooler than in the 90s and early 2000s. Between the different patches, the different autos, dual autos, triple autos, all
just
that
the
stuff.
perception, by the way, too. Because I would argue the late 90s stuff is still the greatest stuff ever made, but nobody thought that outside of me and my nerdy friends.
Sure, but
but you're absolutely right.
For a lay person who's not entrenched in the hobby, you walk in and you see a sick whatever, Tom Brady 3-color patch. Obviously, it's going to run you a few bucks or whatever. You see all these cool patch cards and autos, that's going to stir up. You'd be like, oh shit, your fandom kind of goes, gets going. And then you're with your kid and you see your kid like a $20 card. I remember being, in card shops when I was way younger with my dad, and I'd find just this random, a Nomar Garcia Parra card that was in one of those, old PSA slabs or old Beckett slabs, $30 card or whatever. I was hyped, and my dad bought it for me, and you're holding on to that as a kid, being able to give those moments to other collectors and kind of introduce them into the hobby in a healthy way. that's really something that we're striving for in terms of the experience at every Card Vault location, both on the breaks table, in the actual physical retail stores. Yeah, man, it's just such a fun time to be in the space and be able to see everything it has to offer.
Talking about the hype and excitement of a young kid, I don't know if you got to see the picture of Mike when he got to meet Tom this summer at the National. I've never seen
next
a
to those
smile
two stupid
quite
giants.
like him.
Yeah, Tom and Jesse, two 6'5" idiots. Good grief.
Yeah. This guy melted. He melted to the floor.
Well, I lied. I started the interview with a lie.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I fanboy over nobody, but I told Ruben that day in the interview afterwards that, hey, it's the only guy I actually would like to meet and will probably fanboy. Well, my breaking partner out west went to the Sarah Highs where he went, which is where Tom went. He went there like 4 years later. Well, that wasn't enough for me, so I had to juice the story up. So when Tom comes over, I was like, listen, I'm not just going to shake his hand and get googly-eyed. I was like, hey, Tom, go Sarah Padres. And he stopped. He's like, are you kidding me? You went to Sarah. I was like, no, my brother did. Again, the story was fine without me lying. And he's like, what year did he graduate? And I was like, oh, crap. I know Eddie. But now so I was like, 96, 98, 2000. And Tom was like, okay, good talking. Went right to the big guy. There's also some bias there. He had a 6'5" guy, Jesse, to talk to. And Jesse wanted to talk about soil. So, not my fault.
That's crazy.
The soil document. But I'm the idiot. I should have just said, oh, it's my business. I don't know. But I had to try to juice it up.
Yeah,
It's my bad. That's a fumble. That's my fault.
There's a great smile, though, in the picture. The still was great. Mike.
I look like a child. My wife commented on that immediately. She was like, happier than my wedding night. And Ruben was like, yeah, I hate to think that that's true.
Oh, no, she just loves the misery there.
Oh, yeah, she
excellent.
knows. I'm a child. I mean, my dog is named Brady. My son was conceived at a Tom Brady game afterwards. We don't have to get too personal, but not a big deal. They played the Bengals. We're in Tampa Bay. True story.
We're on
I tried to name him
Cincinnati.
Thomas.
Love that.
So, horrible game for Tom, by the way. Absolutely got obliterated, but that's fine. Last time I got to see him live. Hey, I do want to talk...
Who's quarterbacking for the Bengals? Was that Carson Palmer era? Or
No, that was 2022. It was Burrow, yeah. 2020.
Oh, Burrow. Oh,
20,
damn,
it was 2022. December of 2022. Oh,
Gotcha.
They got smoked. They were like tied at the first half, came out in the second half. I think it was the first time in his career he had 4 straight drives that ended with a turnover or something. So, we thought the kid was going to be unhealthy, honestly. I thought there was going to be problems, but he was born fine, so he's doing great. Transition here. There you go. I do want to talk about the eBay Live news because we saw the announcement. Flawless Fest coming to eBay Live, which they're a huge sponsor of us. We've been working, trying to get people over there, draw attention there. So you guys are launching. It's starting the 10th, right? Starting tomorrow?
Yep. Yeah, so we're doing 4 straight days on eBay Live. Doing tomorrow night, Saturday afternoon, Sunday evening, and Monday evening. So we have like every listing running at $1, and every single day is going to be a flawless break incorporated into the day. So like tomorrow is up to Friday is going to be the baseball day. We got a flawless case break that just finished on auction yesterday, along with like a big 5-caser of Bowman Chrome, which should be really fun. Saturday we're doing a flawless basketball single briefcase, pick your player. All of those, still running right now. Those will be ending tomorrow, along with a Prism Black, the Panini Prism Black case break. Sunday, we're doing a full case of Flawless Football, one of my favorite products, chasing those NFL shields and gems. And then Monday is WWE. We're doing a full case of Flawless WWE. So every single day for any of you guys listening right now, depending on when this goes up, if you guys are big into Flawless, go check out the Card Vault Breaks shop on eBay Live, and it's gonna be fun, man. A lot of Flawless getting ripped this weekend.
And you got the athletes. Like I noticed you got Bazana for baseball. You got the 4th greatest player of all time, Kevin McHale.
Yeah,
maybe 3rd. I go back and forth with him and Kuzi, so it's tough. Football, my guy Andre Reed, by the way.
Andre Reed, yeah.
The Bills were my team growing up because I just didn't like my family that much. The whole divorce left me very soured, so I was all about the Bills when I was a kid. Jim Kelly, Andre Reed. I forget his number, but Kelly was always like 12 plus 83 equals 6. That was their big slogan when I was a kid, and I thought it was the coolest thing. So
yeah, what an absolute shame that team didn't secure one of those Super Bowls, eh?
I just needed one. My boy Bruce. I had my guy Steve Tasker there, of course. Cornelius Bennett. I'll keep going.
Man, it was such a good offense too, man. Like you guys have seen that, the 4 Falls of Buffalo, right? That 30 for 30, I think it is.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've never seen it.
It's good.
Must watch. It's fantastic.
The Norwood kick. Give me the Norwood kick. I can live with it.
Poor Scott Norwood, man. That poor bastard. Oh my goodness, dude.
Yeah. I always argue too, though, if he makes that kick, Kelly is in that conversation of top 10. Because then it's like he revolutionized the no huddle. He revolutionized the 2-minute offense 4 in a row, even though he lost them. But yeah, you got to have the one. So that was tough.
Yeah.
What is the role of the athletes in this? Because I know, like I said, you got Bazana,
Yep.
Kevin McHale, Andre Reed, and there's a wrestler. I don't know.
D'Lo Brown, back from the Attitude Era of WWE.
This is Joe's world right here. Joe,
Nation
D'Lo?
of Domination. Yeah.
That's right.
Sure.
That's right.
NOD, of course. Nod.
So they are some of them will be joining us live. Some of them will be like zooming in digitally.
Nice.
So they're going to join us and do like a couple hours on camera with us. Rip a few of the boxes with us, hang out, have a little story time as we do, and then just kind of just go through some of the cards. Some of that, like D'Lo, funny enough, we actually had him on a live stream probably like a month or two ago. Did a WWE stream with us. That guy was pure electricity, man. Like he was running all the auctions, like hyping people up, telling stories and stuff. I was ready to hire him as a breaker.
It's so rare. Most athletes are so terrible with these breaks. I'm always like, oh god.
Well, so I'm glad to hear wrestlers, man. That's the promos.
He's a performer,
That's that whole thing.
You know what's funny though, Mike, is and I was talking with one of my buddies over at Fanatics when we were at the Soho store, and he made a good point, right? Like when we were talking about like athlete appearances, specifically as it relates to breaks, a lot of these guys, right, if they get like any kind of brand deals, things like that, they go out and they do the different events for whatever, Levi jeans, I don't know, whatever it is. And it's stuff they're not really like super passionate about, but you put them with like sports cards in their hands and all of a sudden they're pulling like, oh damn, like I played college ball with this guy.
Sure.
Like, oh, I know this guy. It's like that's their industry, that's their job. So like they're seeing like whether it's older players that they might have a relationship within their organization or current players. One of the coolest story, like very very quick story, was we had a couple guys from the Celtics coming through. We had Torrey Craig hop on from the Celtics, right?
Torrey Craig, okay.
Former Sun too.
Yeah, former Sun.
I was going to say that's right. Your boy
when he came over from the Chicago Bulls, right?
Yep.
So we did a box of Don Ross basketball had just come out with him, right? So we're ripping. Torrey's a really really good guy. Like we're hanging out, chopping it up, and he pulled a Modest Bazelis rated rookie, just like a base rated rookie, right? And he's like, oh man, like Modest, that's my guy, blah blah blah. And then takes out his phone, the middle is not planned, and FaceTimes Modest on the live stream. Modest picks up and he's like, yo, what's up? Like, and they just have like a FaceTime in the live stream and he's putting them on camera. And it's like that little moment right there is just like kind of all you need to know. Like these guys, like a lot of the athletes that we bring on, they enjoy the hobby. Like they enjoy, like even like Karl Anthony Towns yesterday, like when he came through the Soho store, he popped in. And immediately he's like, yo, what we ripping? What we ripping? Like
that's perfect.
You know what I mean?
By the
like,
way, that is great.
Really
I'm
cool.
glad to hear that because otherwise, if you do the stuff where they're not into the hobby at all,
right.
It is brutal. Like we did some of those spring training events, and some of the kids, I'm just like, hey, I know you don't know how to speak publicly, but just try to nod your head, keep up. So it is good when they're actually engaged. I think then it makes for a really good show. So and Flawless is a perfect break, by the way. Nothing worse than sitting there ripping 50 packs with a guy who's like, how do I open this? Or just open the suitcase. Don't drop the cards. We're good to go. So
correct.
Well, good. Well, hey, Matt, appreciate it. Here's how you know Matt didn't totally suck. I told Matt 10 to 15 minutes, and it's been 25.
22, according to the clock. Yeah.
Dude, if you were terrible, I always give myself the out because I'm like, man, I don't know Matt. I've never talked to him. I don't know what this last name is all about. So, no, we appreciate the time. This was great. So, starting tomorrow, this will air today. So, guys, starting tomorrow, awesome. Card Vault by Tom Brady. Is it Card Vault by Tom Brady? Is that the full eBay handle, or is it just Card Vault?
So Card Vault Breaks is the breaking arm of the business. Card Vault by Tom Brady is the overarching business enterprise name. So
Card Vault Breaks on eBay. Everything's ending tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. 4-day event,
all
Flawless
weekend.
Fest.
Tons. Yep.
Awesome. Very cool. Hey, appreciate the time, man. Thanks for jumping on. And we'll I don't know, we'll be in touch at some point. Next time I'm hanging with Tom, we'll see you.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate you guys having me on, fellas, and thank you.
All right, there you go. Card Vault by Tom Brady. I thought we just talked offline for a second. He's like, hey, anytime. And I thought he was going to say you need to... Yeah, I was like, wait, where are we going? Anytime you need a soccer desk. Yeah. And my plane just crashed from LaGuardia. Thanks. Yeah, I thought that was going a little bit of a different direction, but no problem. That's fine.
I was hoping for you. I was really hoping for you. And then...
Yeah, I was like, what are we doing here, pal? I got to redeem my... I don't even need to meet Tom more than one more time. I just have to meet him one time, like, hey, last time I met you, I totally lied, and I apologize. That's all I need to say. I need 30 seconds with him. We have a bunch of comments, not a ton of questions, but a ton of comments and stuff. I'm going to just bang these out from the Facebook group. TJ Fries. How about, what a great, just 7 words, all caps. How about Big Dumper and the Mariners?
How about him?
I mean, there you go. Says all
He
it
had a
needs to say.
great regular season. Here's the problem, Mike. They didn't even know who they wanted to start in Game 5 for the elimination game. They're tossing up Castillo, Kirby. The Tigers, there's no question. They're sending Scooble to the mound. Like, there you go. That's all you get.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Tigers. I mean, Tariq's been awesome. So, yep. I hope for your sake they win. I don't care though. Honestly, hobby-wise, though, it's great. If we get Cal and Julio, great. If we don't, we get a bunch of undervalued guys for the Tigers, and people will start chasing. Because inevitably, you got to chase somebody.
Yeah.
I also don't know who's beating the Blue Jays. If they keep playing like this, the Blue Jays are freaking rolling.
Hopefully TSA and they can't travel across the border. So,
little too soon, Joseph. I don't
Sorry.
appreciate that.
Sorry.
William Kenny. He's talking about in Bowman Chrome, the black and white shimmer autos are undervalued just because they're so hard to hit. He gives an example. Nate George, the stud for the Orioles, out of 25 have sold for $1,525 and $1,700, while the black and white shimmers, which are roughly the same print run, have sold for about half that. Would it be wise to hold? I'll tell you this, William. Bowman prospecting people in general are the most get off my lawn gatekeepers. Like a blue is a true color. A number to 150. A gold shimmer is not true, even though it's a third of the pop, and they sell for about the same. So no, is it wise to hold? Sure, but I don't know when that perception ever changes. And even the amount of guys who respond to him, like, dude, the variations don't come close. I would always rather have a card that's numbered to 25 as opposed to 50, but a true gold will outsell an orange shimmer. So, I don't think that's ever changing, man. I also find them to be way harder to flip. Anything variation-wise is just tough.
And the prospects, too. When we were talking earlier about the cards not being worth more than, like, right now, like, when a product like this comes out, especially these prospects, I mean, the likelihood of them going on to be successful and crazy successful is real slim. So, I mean, if you're a fan, I get it, but
it's tough. You're shooting for them for the single A guy to go to double A or to have a great showing in winter ball. Like, that's our fall ball. That's really what it is, and especially because the majority of these stars are under 18 in Bowman Chrome. So, a couple other ones. Jesse always butchers these names. Bill Felnhaber. Do you think the Three Kings program will carry into other sports and create more chases? Have you seen this, the Three Kings thing?
Yes.
I just saw this for the first time today.
Yeah.
So if you get...
You need
the post from
you
Topps.
need the MLB debut. You need the Topps Chrome Superfractor Auto, and you also need the Bowman First Superfractor Auto.
Yeah, so if you get all three supers, or the two supers and the Topps rookie debut patch auto of a player, you will get another card. It's called the Three Kings. It has the photo from each player on. The cards are actually super sweet. It's inscribed, and it's another Super 101. There's only one for each player. Here's the thing. Like, a bunch of the guys in the comments are crapping on it. Who cares? Almost no one's ever going to get it. If you do, it's because you're a super collector, and you get a card worth a ton of money for free.
And those will be the guys that go out and look at the checklist and see a no-namer with an MLB patch debut that's listed, and they're going to go and start to make that. Yeah. That's what will happen.
But here's my only pushback on this thing. I don't care about it. I'm never going to collect a super. I'm not into supers like that, and I'm not going to ever buy a rookie patch auto. But there's also no downside. Like, there's no downside here for me. I just don't care about it. I don't understand the hate when they do stuff like this.
Because Fanatics doesn't have to do it at all.
That's what I mean. It's just an extra
it's
thing.
crazy.
And it's not inserted into a pack, so it's not like that product is going to go up. So I don't know. I always get weirded out by the hate. It's like
I read the same thing with the SpongeBob stuff. That was crazy. Like, I get it, SpongeBob, but they're like, good luck. I mean, I wish I could find another way to spend $1,000. Like,
those perverts are spending too. My goodness.
Dude, I sent off 4 SpongeBob cards that sold on our eBay that have to go to authentication. 4 out of 1 case.
Ugh. Chucky BS. When using card ladder, what's the difference between sold price and CL value? So sold price is the actual card that's card sold for, the specific listing. The value is I believe it's the average of the past few and what they have sold for, and it also takes into account what the player's market has done. Card ladder value is super helpful when there's a card that doesn't sell often. Then all of a sudden it pops up and sells for $5,000. Well, if the card ladder value is like half of that, it's because it's always sold way less or his market is way down. So if it's a regular card that sells, you just go by the sold price. If not, the card ladder value can be helpful. Yeah. Brandon Howard, will Whatnot survive the stolen shoe controversy? Whatnot is worth $10 billion. They will survive any controversy and it won't matter. So not a question. I don't have an answer for this next one. If you do, great. If not, we'll move. Patty P, Patrick Parker, top 5 current/active NBA players in the hobby entering this off season. Top 5 current active NBA players in the hobby. I don't know what the like.
Steph, LeBron.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are we talking like greats or who to buy coming in?
I mean, I guess just right now, like, so here, Mike, did you break any Panini? Did you break any Prism Black?
No.
Okay. So what I would equate it to is if you did a player break, it would be the top 5 most expensive players in that product. So like I would be looking at like Anthony Edwards, LeBron, Steph,
Giannis probably up there, KD, Joker, SGA.
I don't know about SGA for sure. I don't know about Luka.
Luka's still up there.
Yeah. Halliburton's going to be out. Tatum's going to be out for the year. Like, stinks.
Yeah, big injuries. Jawan Fisher asked a question about SpongeBob stuff. It's mostly for Jesse, so we're going to kind of let that one go.
All right, new Jesse's here. What's the question?
It's too long. I don't want to deal with this. Andrew Larson, what does DC87 do with cards? DC Sports 87, the official consigner of the Facebook page, by the way, or of the podcast and the Facebook. What does DC87 do with cards that don't sell at auction? I think they just keep them. It's pretty. If your card does not receive a bid, just like any other consigner, they just keep it. Donnie Getters, non-prospect baseball players, not in the postseason or recently eliminated, who are a few guys you think are good off-season pickups? I'll tell you, there's a couple in my head. Soto is like hated right now. I think Soto and Acuna are 2 of the best buys because I've seen them play at unbelievable levels and they're coming up on lows.
What jersey are you buying Soto in?
Mets. Only Mets now.
Okay.
Yep.
So if you come across a like an auto and a Padres, like you're passing on it?
Yankees Padres are almost a no-fly zone. It's so brutal. Nationals, sure. Did they win a chip with the Nationals? Did they win one or no?
I feel like they did. I feel like he won one and Harper left.
Yeah.
But Harper never got the championship with the Nationals, but I feel like...
Or with the Phillies, right?
No, he got one with the Phillies, didn't he?
Oh, okay. So my thing with Soto, either you go with his rookie team, the Nationals, or you go with the Mets. I think there's more upside with the Mets just because Mets have a huge fan base. If he does something big, like that's where he goes. But
I think the guy that you buy right now, too, is Jacob Wilson. He's a hit
Jacob
machine.
Wilson was so good, and he got
hit machine. He got that. He broke that wrist, came back. He was still he kept the batting average high. But dude, they just fly under the radar. Nobody knows. Like I know Nick Kurtz he's going to bring some love there, but that whole team. And I know the question was no prospects, but like when they traded Mason Miller for DeVries, that team is setting up to be exciting in the next 5 years.
Yeah, and like Roman Anthony, by the way, not a prospect. He's in the game, but like Roman Anthony's another guy. He was injured. The team just got eliminated. He's going to be cheap in the offseason. Roman Anthony's, I think, is going to be an absolute star. So there's a few for you, Donnie. What will the impact be on the hobby if MLB has a work stoppage? I mean, it'll be a huge impact.
I would hope that this would not happen. Mike, I'm a little bit older than you, but I can remember...
Joe Carter?
94, 95, I think, was the... Yeah. And it was just, I mean, that was the year that the Expos were going to win it all. Like, they were going to win it all. And it made, they had to battle back so hard to make baseball relevant again. They cannot be that foolish. They cannot be that foolish.
And honestly, it only came back because of the 98 home run chase. You take
Absolutely.
I would still argue that is the single most impactful year of any sport ever. Any of the major sports. Like the Maguire-Sosa stuff. Dude, we were sitting in 6th or 7th grade, literally trading Sosa cards at a lunch table with kids who didn't care about baseball cards. Like it was, I've never seen hype like that. Like the First Dance thing was unbelievable.
You were searching for channels because the internet wasn't as prevalent, like if at all, and you were searching for anything. Like ESPN, you would hope that they would cut to the game on the local network to see it. Like it was amazing.
Yeah, especially beginning of that year too. You had Griffey in the mix, and then your boy Lugo, Luis Gonzalez had an awesome start to the season. Of course, my boy Griffey won the home run derby that year because he was the greatest of those players. Not a big deal. Last question, Zeppi. How do breakers come up with PYP pricing? Pick your player pricing. I've seen a lot of guys. He says, as an example, some Chrome guys I buy that are $5, but in a player break they're $70. Zeppi, I think you know this already. Most breakers are lazy and stupid. They see one list one time and don't do any research or anything on comped values of what players sell for, or they don't check. One of the biggest assets you can look to for pricing, what are auction breaks sell for on Blowout? Blowout Forum, they run their breaks there, and they will list it out by the player, and you can see what people are bidding on in like 50 and 100 case breaks, and this is weeks before the product drops. That's how we base our PYP pricing and PYT pricing. What are guys actually selling for? And then, yeah, if there's hype around somebody, we can factor that in too. But most guys just see a list and go with it and couldn't explain to you why at all. Boom. Thank you for your... Yes, killed it.
It is.
I do have to give a shout out to a couple of our sponsors we haven't talked enough about. I hate to do sponsors together at the end, but it is true. I think we're going to really start moving forward with our PSA stuff going here. Like we talked about this the other show. I do think we're going to start, and I know guys are looking for a place to send cards. I think we're going to come up with a bulk sub option here pretty soon. Because at this point, if you're not doing it for PC, we're just sending stuff to PSA. Like I don't really... I mean, do you send anywhere else at this point if it's not a PC card?
No. Not at all. And as much, dude, it literally is a battle every day because I'm like, well, I wonder if this card would look really good in a Beckett holder, or maybe I'm chasing that pristine. Like, that's the big thing here at the shop. My people that are Pokemon, big people, like, yes.
They're going PSA heavy now too, right?
Dude, they go super PSA heavy, but it's like if they really want to chase something, they have a 10 and they feel like they could get... Because the Beckett Pristine 10 or the Black Label, I mean, when it comes to gaming, I mean, just in general, people want to chase that to have it because it is rare.
Sure.
But dude, PSA is the king. It really is. I mean,
not even close.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. Last one too we want to talk about. We mentioned this in the last show when we had Brian Leon from Arena Club. I know some guys hate the repack game. Again, this was my thing with breaking. This is my thing with Arena Club, and I will always preface it like this: if you are not into opening digital cards and doing the repack thing, totally understand. Can also understand that, hey, this is a huge business now. Like, it just is. And I'm not the biggest repack guy either. There's a reason we teamed up with Arena Club. They're going to let us kind of curate and do our own little run, which I think will be awesome. Like a Geo's Grail type run in the future, which I think is cool. In the meantime, you can literally just go to Arena Club. You can buy packs for $25. You can buy them up to, I think they're up to $1,000 on them now, too. They've got some monster packs.
Instant buyback offers. So
Sure.
If you're not happy with what you got initially, I mean, you literally could throw $100 on the app, do it right on your phone. I've told you this before. I've done it with my boys. We've sat there and we've just opened, and 30, 40 minutes later, that $100 has turned into like 3 or 4 cards because you can get a buyback. Not everything's going to be above what you paid for it,
of course.
But you are going to come across those cards that are super cool. And like we talked about on Cut the Nonsense, that Shaq card that says #1 draft pick, like
your boy.
That's where I got that from Arena Club.
Yeah.
$25 pack.
And I do want to address this reasonably, too, because I've heard people like, well, the buyback makes it so much easier to just keep going and going and going. I have trouble with this. If somebody has that addictive personality, they're going to do that no matter what.
Correct.
Like, I don't really fall to this whole, well, you're making it way easier for guys to fall into this trap. Yeah, if you're going to do that, you're going to do that no matter what. Those people shouldn't be buying Arena Club packs. They shouldn't be buying breaks from me. You shouldn't be opening packs if you have that kind of a crazy, just undisciplined, uncontrolled, and you're just wasting money. But for most people, I want to open, and I have some expendable income, and I want to, hey, and you know what? If I don't get the card I want, I do want another one. So I think the buyback is great for that reason. But yeah, if we're going to go off just the degenerates in the hobby, which are degenerates everywhere, yes, I'm going to look in the camera. Degenerates, don't buy into this. If you don't have expendable money and expendable income, you shouldn't be buying Arena Club. You shouldn't be buying breaks or anything else. There's
Mike,
your glowing
some people,
endorsement.
They say I have that same habit or trait when I go to baseball games. I can't stop eating value hot dogs. Like at $1.50, you just keep going. Like, so I get it. Get what you're saying right now. It's a value hot dog. Like, dude, Mike, what you're saying, 100%. It is easy, but just don't get into it then.
Yeah, but for the vast majority of us, it's like, hey, I can go to the shop and I can buy a pack, and hey, I don't have $1,000. Cool, you can do the $25 packs. And like I'm on there right now, they did release their legendary Pokemon stuff. There's all sorts of different stuff. So there's TCG and there's baseball, multi-sport, whatever you want. So
Mike, load me up with one. I'll open one up. Just load me up.
We got to do the giveaway soon too.
I'll do it.
I don't know when we're actually doing it, but we are doing some pack giveaways soon. So
just give it away to me. Just give it away to me.
I think that's against the rules. So, Joe, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We got to get you here when Jesse's here one day. But
yeah.
Until then, just me and Joe. Appreciate it. Rebecca was here as always. Thank you for the help. Jesse is supposed to be back next week. He's just recovering from his surgery. I talked to him. He is alive. And he's alive, yeah. I don't want to go too much further than that. But he's here. He's still with us. So I think Jesse has a huge thing of breaks this weekend, too. I know he said he was doing
already listed.
Oh, it is. Okay. He's doing
Already
stuff
listed.
Friday. Is it more SpongeBob?
He has, and I'm on his
What a
private.
plug this is for him.
I'm on his private Instagram list, so I was one of the 171 viewers that viewed it. It was Dune, SpongeBob, and then I think Disney was another one.
Dune's brand new, right?
Yes, so Dune is good, great non-sport. It has a good autograph list too. The only one it was missing Timothy Chalamet and Zendaya, but all the other big names were on there.
Gotcha. Okay. My big night will be Saturday. We're finally back to breaking. Saturday night will be the big night where I do my breaks on Fanatics Live. I think I'm moving the eBay show this week to Monday. We've got a little anniversary dinner a week early, so we're doing some stuff Sunday. And then, hey, I cannot encourage this enough, especially while Joe is here. Make sure you check out the network now. Like, there's a reason we rebranded it as SCN Media Network on our other handles. We've got a bunch of YouTube shows that come out daily. We have a bunch of other content, podcast form, whatever. So I would say give those a check. And different stuff now, too. Like, you got guys talking about... Like the Mojo guys talk a little bit more about breaking. We've got Gordy doing mostly vintage. Alex talking about how much he hates Joe and vice versa. So, and we got to get that debate roundtable going. That really has to happen in October. I do want people arguing on the network. I'm excited. Yeah. Boom. I think that's all I got. Rebecca, that was it, right? I didn't miss anything?
Yeah, great episode.
Great episode. Wrap it up. Done. We'll see you back on Monday. Thank you. Goodbye.